In this episode, I tell you my thoughts and feelings about playing Overwatch Open Beta. Overwatch is the first new intellectual property from Blizzard in 17 years. Blizzard has a reputation of only releasing games which become international hits, and to me personally, it seems like Overwatch will be their next. After playing Battleborn multiplayer and being slightly disappointed and bored after a little more than an hour of gameplay, I played about 30 seconds of Overwatch's tutorial as Tracer and I was sold.
Fantastic.
Prepare your defenses.
Overwatch is an arcade 6 vs 6 first-person shooter that emphasizes teamwork and optimizing a combination of different characters with different skills and tactics to win a game of hold the fort, basically. There are 4 gameplay modes, all with designated maps: Assault, Escort, Hybrid, and Control. Assault maps have you capturing objectives in order, while the opposing team tries to keep you out. Escort missions will have you moving a payload through guarded streets. Hybrid maps will include a capture point, followed by an escort mission, and in Control maps, the team who first holds the objective in their control for a set amount of time wins the game. There are no loadouts, skill unlocks, or increased attributes, simply different characters with different abilities, strengths, and weaknesses. As of now, Overwatch has 21 distinct characters to play, which all feel unique and all require a different playstyle. More characters and maps will be added to the game in later updates. No character is overpowered and no one is invincible. You are strong against some characters and will shit your pants when encountering someone else. Characters are categorized in 4 distinct classes to help you make a decision as to which character to choose for this particular map, game mode, or situation. Overwatch encourages you to switch out heroes mid-game to counter your enemy team's tactics. The classes are Offense, Defense, Tank, and Support. Offensive characters are quick-moving and often the front line of the attack. With strong offensive capabilities, they can even take out tanks if not countered. Just watch me take out this enemy tank just by teleporting behind him and shooting him in the spine.
I'm on the objective.
However, they are easily dispatched with countermeasures as they lack abilities to self-heal or support teammates in battle. Most offensive characters are glass cannons. Defensive characters specialize in holding down an area or dealing massive damage to enemy forces while sacrificing either mobility, rate of fire, or health. They can lay down traps or obstacles for enemy forces to walk into or reveal the location of attacking players by using their skills. Tank characters are able to withstand a serious amount of physical punishment. Tanks can also deal out massive amounts of damage, usually with limitations, such as short-range attacks or having to put yourself in the line of fire to damage the enemy team. Support characters deal out buffs and debuffs and can easily mean the difference between victory and defeat. Support characters are not your frontline offensive force, but they do follow right behind, keeping others alive or helping them to deal more damage to enemy players. Already, the community has a high respect for players playing support, and they will often reward you for helping them win the game. No character class is definitive. You can often rack up the most kills with a support character, just like an offensive one. Defensive characters are often also good at breaking enemy lines of defense during an attack. Characters in Overwatch aren't individuals just in terms of gameplay mechanics, they also have distinct personalities and entertaining banter between each other.
Lucio, I'll race ya. Thanks.
The game is accompanied with short stories and animations that give characters backstory. I was so interested in the characters that I found myself repeating character taunts as I first played the game.
Death walks among you.
I won't go through all the characters, but here are some of my personal favorites. All characters usually have 2 specialized skills and an ultimate skill which will charge up during play. Thornbjorn is the defender's defender. Thornbjorn is basically the engineer from Team Fortress 1. He's slow and has a powerful but short-range weapon. He can collect scrap metal from fallen enemies and create armor packs which can be given to team members or himself. He can build, repair, and upgrade a turret that will fire at enemies in line of sight within 40 meters, which in Overwatch is actually quite a large area, and makes for excellent air defense against the flying character Pharah. His ultimate skill makes him build and fire his weapon faster. It raises his damage, health, and gives his turret a rocket launcher for a short time. When spotted, Thornburn's turret usually immediately draws all enemy fire, as they are deadly accurate and deal heavy damage. Tracer is a goofy English pilot who dual wields pistols and is the most mobile offensive character.
Cheers, love! The cavalry's here!
She can teleport in the direction she's traveling to quickly flank or confuse enemies, as well as jump back in time 3 seconds to retreat, heal, reload, and attack again. Tracer's ultimate skill is a powerful sticky bomb that she can throw a short distance. By using a combination of teleport, bomb throw, and time travel, she can single-handedly take out enemy tanks or clear small rooms in seconds and be out of there before you know it. She has very low health, and some characters can even one-shot her, but a mobile Tracer is very hard to hit. Her strength in combat is to go behind enemy lines and disrupt the enemy team as they scramble to hit a fast-moving insect. Bastion is a heavy damage-dealing, friendly and naive robot. He moves slowly through the maps, and he's basically a player-controlled version of Thornburn's turret. Bastion reconfigures from his mobile form into a minigun turret, which can destroy weaker characters in milliseconds and even take out tanks single-handedly. When in turret configuration, Bastion can move, and he's open to enemy rockets, snipers and area of effect attacks. Similarly to Thornburn's turret, Bastion is usually the first to get attacked when defending an area, so it's critical to keep on the move, stay hidden, and ask your team to help you. Bastion can't take as many hits as some other characters, but he can repair himself. His ultimate lets him reconfigure into a small tank, which is hard to hit and deals immense amounts of explosive damage. Reaper is death, short and simple. He's a fairly mobile offensive character who uses 2 handheld shotguns to deal death and is especially effective in close-quarter combat. He's your everyday lovable serial killer. One of his voice lines is, "I am not a
Psychopath. I'm a high-functioning psychopath."
His first skill is turning into Wraith form, which temporarily increases his speed and makes him invulnerable. However, in this form, Reaper can't fire, and the effect is not long-lasting, which can leave you in a sticky situation. Wraith form is a good way to do a tactical retreat, similar to how you can escape combat with Tracer. Reaper can also teleport, which is perfect for traversing long distances, reaching high places, or flanking an enemy Bastion without him seeing. His ultimate skill is that he fires in all directions, doing significant damage to anyone in the vicinity. A combination of teleport and his ultimate can sometimes clear a room. But it can also get you killed if you're stupid like me. Hanzo, the handsome Chinese warrior, is a defensive character and one of the 2 snipers in Overwatch. His only weapon is his trusty bow, which has a slow rate of fire, but can one-shot weaker characters even without a headshot. He can climb walls to reach higher ground and can reveal enemy positions with a sonar arrow. This, along with Widowmaker's similar ultimate skill, are easily one of the most powerful skills in Overwatch. His second skill is a group of arrows which will ricochet in all directions on impact or subtract a significant amount of health from a single target with a direct hit. His ultimate power is to fire a gigantic spirit dragon, which will travel through walls and the entire map to devastate anyone who's caught in its path. This skill can easily remove all enemy players in an enclosed space if they don't listen carefully to Hanzo's warning shout. Farah is the most glass cannony of the glass cannony offensive class. She's an Egyptian soldier armed with a rocket launcher and jetpack. Her long-range area effect attacks can easily remove snipers and turrets from their hiding places, but she can't take too many hits without getting killed herself. Farah's role in combat is air support. She can quickly cross obstacles and flank enemy troops from above, firing rockets while slowly floating down. This is effective, but opens her up to return fire. Her second skill is a concussive charge, which doesn't damage enemies much, but can quickly disorient them or break a line of defense, making them open to attack. Farah's ultimate is a barrage of rockets, perfect for eliminating groups of opposing players or enemy turrets from afar. The downside is that it leaves her a sitting duck in the air. D.Va is a funny Japanese gamer girl who fights inside a powerful pink mech. With double automatic shotguns and no need to reload, D.Va can hand out a serious amount of punishment as a tank character. She's incredibly deadly at close range and can kill several players by herself if they aren't ready for her.
Time to raise my APM.
D.Va's first skill is a shield, which blocks all fire for a short time but only from directly in front of her. Her second skill is a booster rocket, which allows her to fly in any direction for a duration of few seconds. Her specialty is that you have to kill her twice. At first she only loses her mech, and even without it she's no helpless little girl, as she's a small, quick-moving target with a fairly useful sidearm. She actually has two ultimates. She can set her mech to self-destruct, and the explosion kills enemies at a very large distance. If her ultimate charges when she's not in her mech, she can use it to call down a new one.
Suiting up. Nerf this.
It's often a good idea to abandon your mech if it's about to get destroyed,
All systems check.
and then return to the fight with a brand new suit.
Game on.
Soldier 76 is an old grumpy infantry fighter who won't stand for your incompetence. His rifle is effective and accurate at long or short distances, and he's a useful addition to a team's offensive force. He is the vanilla ice cream of Overwatch, your go-to most basic of basic FPS characters. His first skill is the ability to sprint, which helps you duck enemy fire or traverse an opening without getting hit. While sprinting, Soldier 76 can't fire his weapon, and if he does, he'll slow down to regular speed. His other skills are the ability to fire a powerful miniature rocket, which can devastate turrets and weaker characters, and deploy a short duration area of effect healing buff for himself and his teammates. His ultimate is a tactical visor, which makes every shot from his rifle hit his target as long as he retains line of sight. Mercy is a German angelic doctor and field medic with very little offensive capabilities. She wields a staff with which she can grant a powerful healing or damage buff to a single team member at a time. She is the most iconic character of the support class. She can heal friendly tanks while they hold an area or entryway, or grant a defensive character a damage boost. As Mercy, you're rewarded for helping your teammates eliminate opposing players and survive. Her only skill really is the ability to fly to a nearby friendly character to either support them or get herself out of harm's way quickly. It's a good idea to stay away from lines of fire as you help your friends eliminate enemies. Mercy isn't completely defenseless. She does have a pistol, but the damage is low and projectiles travel slowly. Her ultimate skill is to resurrect nearby fallen comrades.
Heroes never die.
In the event of a near team kill, Mercy can even bring her entire team back to life as long as they've died near each other. McCree is your old school badass desperado cowboy, armed with a poncho, Stetson hat and 6-shooter. He's an effective offensive character who can hit enemies from far away, but he is immensely deadly at short distances, and encountering him in close quarter combat will almost guarantee you meet the Undertaker.
Rest in peace.
His skills include a stun bomb, which will immobilize enemies for a short period, during which McCree can use his secondary fire to unload the cylinders of his revolver in quick succession, after which he can combat roll away from line of sight, which also reloads his pistol, after which he can fire again. This combination makes you not want to face off against him alone in a dark alley. His ultimate skill allows McCree to fire 6 well-aimed headshots as long as he remains still and takes his time to aim, during which he is very vulnerable to enemy fire, so make sure you're safe before you try and take the shot. Don't play like me. Play cool like McCree. Reinhardt is one of the tankiest tanks in all of Tankville. He's a gigantic Viking inside an armored exoskeleton, armed with a rocket-powered hammer and energy shield. His shield has more hit points than any character, and it's wide enough to fit your whole team behind, from which they can return fire. It's not, however, indestructible, and you have to put it away to let it recharge after it's taken damage. His hammer is powerful and can almost one-shot weaker offense characters, but Reinhardt has nearly no way to engage distant combatants, except for his slow-traveling fireball skill, which isn't enough to take out a turret on its own, and it's easy to dodge. Reinhardt can rocket charge through opposing players to quickly close gaps between him and his adversaries, break enemy lines, or pin enemy tanks for massive damage, after which they are easily destroyed. However, the attack is difficult to land, and he's open to fire while in mid-flight. Symmetra is an Indian philosopher whose participation can easily mean the difference between victory and defeat. She's a highly damage-dealing support character with a very powerful and accurate short-range attack and a powerful but slow-moving long-range attack. Her first skill is to grant team members with a small shield boost,
You are shielded.
It isn't much, but she can grant one to every player on her team every time they lose it with no cooldown times. She can also place short-range turrets that damage and slow down enemy characters to distract them or make certain paths not worth taking. If all goes well, Symmetro can place up to 6 turrets, and their combined power can even dispatch tank-class characters who don't keep their eyes open while running to the objective. Her ultimate skill is a teleporter that connects to the team's spawn room, and it allows dead players to rejoin the fight much quicker without having to run back. It helps keep pressure on the opposing team. A well-placed and guarded teleport can easily turn a loss into a win.
Teleporter online.
Here are some things I really enjoyed about Overwatch. The maps are beautiful and colorful, and they're based on real locations like Greece, Japan, England, which makes them feel comfortable and also unique. They're not realistic models of actual places, they are very much shooter game levels. The current maps of Overwatch are very well designed in terms of gameplay. You can almost never set up a perfect defense, as there is always some way to flank your enemy's position, be it from around, underneath, or from above. During a play session, the game will record your personal highlights to watch later in the main menu. A highlight is a 5 to 8 second time window during which you scored the most points for that game session.
Play of the game.
If you scored more than anyone else, you will be rewarded with a play of the game, which will be shown to every player. At the end of the match, you get to high-five players who did well. Overwatch doesn't discriminate between your team or your enemy team. The game will suggest the 4 most valuable players of that match, and you can pick which one's game you like the most. When you're waiting to find a game to join, you can back out of the matchmaking screen and browse through your highlights or unlocks while the game keeps on searching. As you're beginning to learn the game, you can access your character's skill info and controls in almost any screen at any time with a single button, and it doesn't pause the game. In assault maps, the defending team is given 45 seconds to set up a defense before the attack, and the attacking team has to wait in the spawn.
Attack commences in 30 seconds.
The spawn rooms are colorful, detailed, and there's always something you can break or kick around to pass the time. Currently, I'm not a very skilled first-person shooter player, and they aren't my favorite genre of games, but I do really like duck game. I like the funny, vibrant atmosphere and the fast-paced, arcadey combat that you can play for 5 minutes or 5 hours. For me, Overwatch scratches that exact same itch. I found Overwatch to be immensely enjoyable. I fell in love with it from the get-go, and as I started to learn the characters and maps, it just got better.
Now, where were we?
This game makes me want to get good, and I found myself googling tips and tricks after only a couple of hours of play. If you like what you see on screen right now, and you enjoy Hold the Fort type gameplay, then Overwatch is for you as definitely as it was for me. Now it's time to turn the lights on, and if you enjoyed this video, please tell me what you think in the comment section, and feel free to like and subscribe because there's more where this came from.